I wanted to talk about, it's very smoky here in Montana today, and got me to thinking about forest fires and how the environment actually comes back to life with the use of forest fire. Now, I'm not going to talk so much about that technology. I'm going to talk about sort of what I did when I got out of high school, which was a Quaker boarding school, remember, from some of the other talks, and I got back to Montana. I got interested in, I wanted to go and fight forest fires. Well, at the time, the elite crews were the Indian firefighters, and I understand they still are the elite crews to fight forest fires. And I didn't live on the reservation, so I didn't know how to get onto their crews. So at the same time, I had the same dilemma with whether I was going to go into the armed services or whether I was going to protest against the Vietnam War, which was what I had done in Quaker boarding school. Well, my dad, my older brother, he applied and started to be a conscientious objector, and my dad basically just blew up and had a total fit. In public, mind you, just like it would have been on Hollywood, but I couldn't do that to my dad. I didn't know what really to do at the time, so I signed on to the Forest Service. I felt like I could give some of my time to save the natural resources of our country versus killing somebody in another country. That was how I weighed it out. And so I was hired as a fire tech in the Pryor Mountains, and for 4 seasons I would live out in this cabin with another guy. We basically had a truck, a brand new truck. We would patrol the district, the Pryor Mountain Range. We'd go up on top, and every now and again, a lightning strike would come, and we'd go and we'd fight the forest fire. And I was on the hotshot crew of that district for fighting fires, and what we did is we had a backpack, we had our fire tools, a Pulaski, a shovel, lady shovel, small shovel. I don't know if it's reasonable to call those tools those things anymore, because I think those would be politically incorrect anyway. So I had a Pulaski, a lady shovel, some rations, and a tarp, and we would go in to fight the fire, and hopefully the Indian crews would come in and save us if it got out of hand. A couple of times we did, my partner and I, we did get into situations where we could have gotten into a lot of trouble had we not been aware or made aware by just looking around, observing the fire. In one instance, for example, we were digging a fire line and through the timber, and the fire was just about 20 feet, 30 feet maybe in front of us, and so we were digging this fire line, and the wind came up and the wind blew it up over us. It crowned over us, and so it came down, so we were in the fire. But you know, we were young men, and we could, as the term goes, we could skedaddle. And when the time comes, if you can't skedaddle, your life's in jeopardy. And so, fighting forest fires, to me, was equally as dangerous as going into the Marine Corps, as my dad had wanted me. But basically, we all knew that I probably, because I had some medical issues, I probably wouldn't have passed the physical anyway. But I did pass the physical for fighting fires. And who knows if they were the same. But in that instance, you know, fighting forest fires was exciting stuff. And I thought that this is what I could do. Also, you know, every summer I worked for the Forest Service out in the Prairie Mountains, and you know, I got interested in looking for a career, and so I hired on as an apprentice for Exxon in the oil refinery. And strangely enough, the second week I was working for Exxon, they had us in a full entry fire suit, and we were to walk in and close off a valve that was feeding a fire. And so I didn't get away from fighting fires, it seemed. Fire is really good for a forest in a sense. It's part of that pulse of that forest. And when that forest has fire, the insects come and they work off those seeds, and the seeds get actually, they get ignited inside, and they start to work again as a forest, making new trees. So a forest fire, especially for the undergrowth. Now, there's other people who can talk about trees better than I. I like trees, especially for the shade in the summer. Anyway, I hope this story about me fighting forest fires encourages some of you who are young to go and fight forest fires. It's a good way to protect our forests, you know, to protect our futures, as in, you know, the life-giving air that we breathe. So thank you for the moment listening to this talk.